means of injecting venom can be found in your front fang snakes. That's your, which are split into two further groups. First group I'll talk a little bit about are known as elapids. That's your cobras, coral snakes, mongoose, pythons. Those snakes, their fangs are very prominent. Their mouth is stuck in pits. They're true fangs. They're hollow tubes connected to a venom duct and gland in their head. It's also right above that gland compresses it and enables their fangs to function similar to hypodermic needles, which means their venom goes through their fangs. This also means that elapids just have to bite their prey, inject their venom to eat sounds way faster, much more efficient than rear fang snakes. But even faster, more efficient than both rear fang snakes and elapids venom systems can be found in the vipers of the world. Now this viper that I'm going to bring out is very common in the southeastern part of the United States. It's known as a cottonmouth.
Oh.
It's known as a watermouth. Yes, so that's a watermouth. It's also known as cottonmouth. It's a viper. Like all vipers, it has very long fangs at the front of its mouth. They are so long, in fact, if they were stuck fixed like the elapids I was just talking about, they'd actually stick to the bottom of their mouth. So viper fangs are actually foldable. They're hinged. They fold onto the roof of their mouth when they aren't using them. When they do use them, they can stick straight out in front of them. Now, vipers can also open their mouth at almost 180 degrees, which means that those fangs stick out directly in front of them when they strike. That means this snake doesn't even have to actually think and bite anything. All it actually has to do is open mouth, strike, barely make any contact with whatever it is, and then they just have to sit back and wait until the prey animal succumbs to the venom. That is definitely the maximum growth efficiency combined with the minimum amount of movement for the snake. He is kind of smaller, but it would hurt a lot. So, fun fact about this snake, their venom has a special enzyme in it that attacks your pain receptors, so you feel more pain. Yeah, fun animal to work with. Now, this snake also belongs to a special group of snakes known as the pit vipers. They're called that because they have a small heat-seeking pit between their eyes and their nostrils. It's very sensitive to temperature changes. They can detect hundreds of a degree difference in the air temperature around them. They use that sense to accurately locate and strike warm-blooded prey. They're very good at it. Now, one frequently asked question we get asked when we are handling venomous snakes is, which snake's the deadliest? To be honest with you guys, I don't really know, because I don't know what your definition of the deadliest snake is. Usually there's a couple definitions for the deadliest. Either the snake with the most toxic venom, or the snake that actually bites and kills the most people. Those snakes are actually very different from each other. If you think that the deadliest snake is the snake with the most toxic venom, then you are thinking about the inland taipan.
Do it.
Inland taipan, only 1 milligram of its venom is enough to kill an adult human. It's like if you took an M&M, cut that M&M up into 1,000 equally sized little pieces. One of those pieces, blood takes are gone. Every time they bite, they can inject well up to 100 milligrams into something. So you can look at it like one bite from that snake to kill 100 men. You'd not be wrong to assume that. However, they are only found in one place in the entire world. Very remote, very centralized. Guess where? Australia. Where else do they found?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what else is in Australia? The 8 other most venomous snakes in the world. So, it's a messed up place down there. But if you think that the deadliest snake is the snake that actually bites and kills the most people each year, it'd be more fun to show you that snake. So,
What?
It's kind of a debate on what snake that actually is, because every year there's about 4 snakes that are in the running for causing the most human death. The reason there's 4 snakes is all 4 of these snakes are very venomous, very good at killing people. They're all found in the exact same place in the world. They are found in one of the most densely populated parts of the world, where most people go barefoot in shorts without readily available medical attention. This is a snake that we're all familiar with. You've definitely heard of it. If you haven't seen it in person at like a zoo, you've definitely seen it on the internet or TV, movies, stuff like that. Especially if you've ever seen the Indiana Jones movies. Then you've definitely seen this snake before. This is, of course, going to be known as the common garter snake. Yeah. No. This is an Asiatic cobra, also known as a monocled cobra. And when I bring a cobra out, he's running from me. When I bring a cobra out, most people think of a snake charmer that plays its flute. for a snake that seems to be swaying back and forth to the rhythm of the music. There's also snakes that's got no ears. It's not listening to the music, it's just following the motion of the snake charmer as he himself sways back and forth. Again, there's no listening to the music being charmed in any way. Now, the cobra strike is different than every other snake in the world. A cobra strike is like this forward, downward motion, and it's like that, but it's really slow. It's so slow for a snake. In fact, a fully alert person could be very easily be able to come on stage, get this cobra out of the box, get within a striking distance, allow him to strike, and then just easily avoid being bit. Can I get a volunteer for the next round? No, put your hands down. No. That's how you die when you snake bite, as a joke. The reason 6 is the box of the show. Now, probably the most iconic part about this cobra is that hood that he was very proudly displaying earlier. Now, that hood is formed by erecting elongated ribs in his neck region. He does that when he feels threatened in order to make himself appear larger, much more intimidating. Personally, I think that's very effective. Raising the box of the show. Also, they don't give me nearly enough to even say that box, so I'm not going to. Now, this is a very bad snake bite. You're getting bit by one of these snakes. Now, we are in constant contact with these animals. He does not live in this box. He's doing his job right now. We have 80 cobras. We use a new cobra every day. So throughout the summer, they might only get used like 3 times maximum. We're constantly moving them in and out. If someone here at Reptile Garden was to ever get bit by specifically one of these monster cobras, it's not a good bite. You really need to be at a hospital receiving anti-venom treatment within about 10 minutes after receiving that bite, or else your organs start to shut off. Luckily for us here at Reptile Garden, we have a hospital about 11 minutes away. So. Now, feel free to get that. Another frequently asked question we get asked for handling venomous snakes is, how do you tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous one? There's a lot of things you're going to hear people say, a lot of things you see online even. Unfortunately, most of them are either not true at all or kind of misleading. Some of the most common ones you're going to hear are going to be like, shape the head. So a triangular shaped head, that means a venomous snake. While a round or oval head, that means a non-venomous snake. If you look at this snake, when its hood is down, it's got a round head. It really doesn't look that much different than like the Crebo I brought out earlier, especially if they're both on the ground running around, slithering around. That is very venomous. I've been bit by this one probably like 100 times. I'm still here. Another fun, not fun fact at all. If you were to get bit by Monaco cobra and receive antivenom treatment, even with all the antivenom that your body could, take, there's still a 50% chance you're gonna die. So another reason why cobra's been in box video. But you're also gonna hear shape the pupil, cat's eye pupil, venomous snake, round non-venomous snake, again, round pupil. Highly venomous. You're also going to hear colors and patterns. You know the coral snake rhyme with black tipped yellow kill fellow that works here in the United States. But when you go down to South America, coral snake colors are different. That little rule doesn't apply. There's only one way that I know of that can accurately determine if the snake is venomous or not. If you don't know what the snake is, it's pretty easy. Just put your hand right in front of the face, let it bite you, you die. It was venomous. So, and it's probably just a lot easier, safer to just learn about which venomous snakes are in the areas where you live, where you plan to visit. If you guys are visiting South Dakota, from out of state, anywhere else in the entire world, there's only one kind of dangerously venomous snake here in South Dakota that you have to worry about.
Diamondback?
That's, of course, prairie rattlesnake. Now, prairie rattlesnake is a very common, but also a very secretive snake here in South Dakota. Many people will live their entire lives in our state, never actually see one. Okay, stop it. Never actually see one, so I figured why not see one here. Obviously, super friendly snake is wagging his tail.
Yeah.
No, not friendly at all. That unique tail finish is, of course, this rattlesnake. Of course, these rattlesnakes rattle. We all know when we find out if we go down there and we count the number of segments on this rattlesnake's rattle, right? And you find out what a venomous snake bite feels like. We want to find out the age of the rattlesnake by asking what his birthday was. Rattlesnakes gain a new segment onto their rattle every time they shed their skin. They can shed their skin from 0 to 6, even 10 times a year. And like with this guy, they break off all the time. They make the same thing our fingernails are made of, keratin. They're just hollow interlocking segments of keratin that they shake really, really fast when they make that noise. Now, another thing people say is a rattlesnake is always going to rattle before it strikes. Yeah, that's true. That one strikes first and rattles later. The two are not dependent upon each other. Many snakes, both venomous and non-venomous, with a rattle, without a rattle, shake their tail when they feel threatened, not just rattlesnakes. Also, I don't know of any animal in the entire animal kingdom that needs permission from its butt to bite you. Now, we all know what to do if we are in the wild and we hear that sound, right? That's a good answer. You feel like run away. If you stop that, don't feel bad. It's a little common answer, I guess. No, that's the best thing to do. But don't feel bad. That's not even close to the worst answer I've ever heard when I asked that question. The worst answer I ever heard when I asked that question was the first time I was doing snake shows. This is at the show right now. This one girl, she got at the top, the bleachers, she goes, stop, drop, and roll. I can use that. But again, if you hear that sound and your first instinct is to run, I'm going to run right into that thing. Obviously, it's not going to make it very happy. The best thing for you to do, don't move. Movement attracts his attention. Movement is threatening. He just doesn't want to be stepped on. The best thing for you to do is just freeze. Locate the snake. Move in the opposite direction. Now, some people are okay with a few feet between them and a venomous snake. Some people would probably prefer anything wild. But suppose you're one that's like you that want to try and capture him, kill him, poke him, prod him, take him home as a pet. By all means, go for it. Don't blame him what happens next, though. More people are bitten trying to capture and kill venomous snakes than by simply leaving them alone. Now, if you are the kind of person that needs to kill every single snake you see, whether it's venomous or not, you probably shouldn't. There's a reason we have snakes, venomous and all. The people great for us to get rid of a lot of rodents for us. Now, unfortunately, it's the last thing I can bring after you guys stay up for the show. I'd like to say a couple things. First of all, I hope you all learned something and enjoyed it. I'm going to bring out the Burmese python I brought out earlier for you all to pet.